Good day! Today, we will be gonna tackling about the refrigeration cycle. But first, let us know more about refrigeration. Refrigeration allows us so much benefits for the welfare of the many. It gives us the ability of advancement to store and stack foods or any perishable goods for a long period of time. Anyhow, this gives us the chance to live in our home or grind over our work with a very sensational and comfortable ambience despite the sizzling hot weather. Now, the question is, how does this technology work? Well, keep on track as what's ahead is the breaking of features and functions as of how our refrigeration system works. My name's Compressor, Compress Compressor. Basically, I am both a motor and a pump, and I used to draw low temperature and low pressure superheated vapor by the means of my suction. As the refrigerant passes through me, I compress its particles and gain higher pressure and higher temperature vapor. From the low pressure and low temperature, it now becomes hot with high pressure vapor refrigerant as it traverses going to the next component after the discharging process.
My name, condenser. Condenser. I extract heat from the refrigerant to the outside air for the transfer of heat. I come with fan mounted parallel to me to draw air through my coils. After the refrigerant being compressed, it will now enter through me. I don't love heat, that's why I reject it. I take into suction the high pressure, high temperature, discharge it going to my next component expansion valve. But this time with low temperature and with a change of state into a gas. At above midpoint of my coil is where the refrigerant become a saturated or also known its boiling point. A point where let in place, changing its phase from vapor and liquid. Technically, as my name applies, my process is transmuting the gas in its liquid place.
My name makes expansion valve. So I throttles the liquid refrigerant and keep the pressure difference between the evaporator and condenser. So while providing refrigerant to the evaporator at appropriate rate, so I also work to distribute the proper amount of refrigerant to my friend's evaporator. So I take into high pressure low temperature liquid refrigerant and discharge it going to the evaporator as low pressure low temperature liquid refrigerant. So you cannot expect change of state of refrigerant from me. Basically, I regulate the cooling depending on the thermostat setting.
My name is Evaporator.
Because of me, the unwanted heat is removed from the product. Part of my job is absorbing heat by the means of liquid refrigerant, which is boiling at the low temperature. It is on me where the cold air is being released. It takes into suction the low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant and discharge it going back to the compressor. As low pressure, low temperature, but this time it will change its phase into superheated vapor back again. At above midpoint of my evaporator coil, it is where the latent heat of evaporation occurs. This is where the change of state happens from liquid to gas. Technically, as my name applies, I am the process of transmitting the working fluid into a gaseous phase.